Brought to you by anxiety and boredom. It's the Dogman Show. How you doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? Glad to bring you another Dogman Show. This is the end of season 1. However, we are going to leave you with a laugh and hopefully a few things to remember. We've had a few guests over the run of this season. However, today I'm flying solo. I want to burn out supernova style and just go through a bunch of shit that I think is cool. Namely, music. Right now that really has my head in. I've been listening to a lot of like really popular shit from different generations. Nice. But start with the Pretenders. Back on the Chain Gang. I heard a cover of it, and it reminded me of the original. And I don't think I've ever heard that song and not immediately felt like cheered up. I found a picture of you. Those were the happiest days in my life. That is a heavy statement, and that's the first line of the song. I found a picture of you. Those are the happiest days of my life. Was it like a break in the battle was your part in the ragged life of a lonely heart. Very poetic, very, very interesting. And I don't think the Pretenders, because they do Brass and Pocket too, they do not get enough credit in the modern crowd, but they are a fantastic group. The Police. Now, people say different things about the Police. Sting, what have you. People disagree, agree with political or their whatever. I was a castaway, an island lost at sea. That's a big one. Yeah. The Rolling Stones have a lot of interesting tracks. I had to go to my notes here because she's so cold. I'm so hot for her, but she's so cold. Like, this is now not necessarily touching or anything. This is touching in a different way. If you catch my cold, this is hilarious how overt like the sexuality in this song is. I'm the burning bush. I'm the burning man. I'm the bleeding volcano. And I mean, he's grabbing to put your hand on the heat. Put your hand on the heat. And it's like he's not even trying to. Not even trying to use a euphemism or subtext or anything. I mean, I guess technically, yeah, but when you grab your junk and then make like a pun, it loses its entendre value. She's under my thumb. Like, it's talking about this lady, like a trained pet or whatever, and it's like she's a Siamese cat type of girl. Was it? Miss you. Got some Puerto Rican girls that just dying to meet you. It's just like, we're gonna drink against wine. I mean, it's a killer song, but just the structure itself, he just breaks down into this weird, like, conversation with somebody else. He's remembering, like, picking up women. I assume, right? That's the vibe, because yeah, that they're going and partying. Brown sugar. Brown sugar tastes so good to me, and he's just like he's clearly dating someone like a darker skinned girl. uh, this the times were obviously different, but my God, man, just no fucking subtlety at all. But I mean, there's a lot. Going back to the more like touching and poetic stuff. Neil Young. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. Keep me searching and I'm growing old. I've been in my mind such a fine wine that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Just, I mean, the cadence of the song itself, it moves the spirit. It does it in a way that is very unique to classic rock. I mean, other genres, I'm sure, are, I should say very unique in my experience to classic rock, because I'm sure other people can hear Brubeck's Take Five and they're, you know what I mean, lifted to the ceiling. And I mean, I dig jazz. Don't get me wrong. I love Coltrane, Miles Davis. I mean, even going back to like the twin, like Cole Porter and stuff, I dig it. Uh, there are tunes though over the generation that have said some really big stuff, and now with the influx of popular media, and now it's been 10, 20, 30 years since some of these songs were made, the value is next to nil unless someone finds it for a meme or something and dusts it off. There's a song though, the Rickroll, the "Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down, Never Gonna Run Around." Yeah, that song was like a one-hit wonder from the '80s, and it became this like amazing thing. And I mean, no offense, I love Rick Astley. You're a fucking talent. That should not, yeah. People should know you for more than just that one song. But also, rocking the trench coat. Dig the old school trench coat. Oh man, Alan Thicke repping that era too. Excuse me, I had to look into something for a moment. But there's a band that I have grown up on called Danger Bob. They're out of Lawrence, Kansas, and they have just a laundry list of lyrics that have stood out to me. You're enough to make a cool guy die. I'll push up daisies anytime. I mean, they're counting down until you die. And I mean, you and me wrapped around a tree. Is very like the significance is very esoteric because it's not a band that everyone knows about. They were bigger in the '90s, and I just know some things about them. Like I've heard a few of their albums, and I've obsessed over them over the years, or over and over and over and over and over again. And of all things, too, they were introduced to me by a total stranger. Met him at the library, just watching random anime videos. Um, it was at a time when I had never really gotten any action or anything like that. I was like 14, 15, and the video was like anime guy getting chased around by hot girls or whatever, and some Chobits and Lucky Mouse, or I don't know. It was an AMV, and this is way back. So this is the beginning of this kind of stuff when it was first coming out. But they have a song called "Sick and Tired of Sex," and I am like guffawed at this. Like, what the fuck, sick and tired of? How are you sick and tired of sex? And I mean, yeah, that's a very dork virgin fucking outlook. And it's like once you get to a certain point in life and you've had enough experience with enough people, or you're in a relationship for a long time, you're like, oh god, now I know what that means. I'm sick and tired of it. Yeah, I'm just like, no, I'm good. You want to have sex? Nah, I'm right. I'm watching Netflix. I'm gonna catch up on Game of Thrones or whatever. Smoke a bowl. But Danger Mob in specific stood out to me because they're not this like big prolific legendary band, even though I feel like they should be. And albums like Megas Vegas, Girls of the Big 12, I can't even think of For Unlawful Christmas Knowledge. Just off the top of my head. But yeah, the crazy songs like Diuretics and Ukrainian Porcelain and Real World Me. It feels like hearing half of a conversation almost. And like when you hear two people talk, or you hear someone in the next room like talking on the phone, you can kind of put some of the words in and like put the context to it. And that's, yeah, they're talking about stuff from the other, like, different part of the country. And yeah, like there's a song called Smileyburg. Smileyburg is a place. But yeah, past lungers of Augusta with the Revolution Way, baking on the blacktop called Highway 54. Out to the country, we don't go there anymore. But yeah, and it's like, okay, I don't know anything about Smileyburg, but the context of the song is that like he just eats a bunch of crap at a convenience store on the way to go fishing with his dad and barfs everywhere. And like as a young, overly excited fat kid, like that's funny that you can see that happening. Like it may have happened to you, or your kid, or you know what I mean. You've seen it in going through Walmart. Yeah, someone just wolfing down jelly beans or whatever, and just goes barfs on the floor. David Bowie is another like big fucking artist, and he passed not too long ago, and it's a fucking shame. I would have liked to seen more from him. That latest album, Lazarus or Black Star, I forget. I got them mixed up because either the album is Lazarus or the album is Black Star, but the other one is a song on the album. And I haven't been as thorough with his newer stuff, but the Thin White Duke has definitely made an impression on me. I mean, there's different eras too. Bowie has reinvented himself, and he's followed different trends in music. He's collaborated with different people, and he's kept such an interesting, like, pioneering hold on music. Some people disagree with how, like, he rolls, whatever, but any big star is going to have detractors like that. Same with Morrissey. Um, if you're looking to mix it up, listen to something different. AV Club Undercover. It's a series of songs. Every season they take a list of songs, and then they have bands come in and choose from that list. But they're like big popular songs, like I was talking about, like these mainstream tunes, and these bands will go and try to cover them, and you get a lot of like mixed interpretations of really well-known classic songs. Yeah, speaking of which, yeah, they do a cover of David Bowie's "Modern Love." It's another one with interesting lyrics. Modern love gets me to the church on time. What was it? Tom Petty. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. So coming down is the hardest thing. So let's get to the point. Let's roll another joint. Put the radio on and roll away somewhere. And I mean, speaking of fantastic covers, Billy Cobb has done some just amazing fucking covers. He's the one who brought back some of these to my attention. Like, I don't like Shakira. I'm not a. I think she sounds like a fucking air horn, but she's pretty, and a lot of people dig her. And I hear she has a statue where she's from. So yeah, Saint Shakira. But this guy did a punk cover of Shakira's "Hips Don't Lie," and yeah, I mean, I usually do dig a song when you punk it up. He did the Backyardigans, "Castaways, Castaways, we are castaways, ahoy there, ahoy." That's, I mean, they did Toto's Africa, they did Joy Division, but in a bluegrass style. Excuse me. Another one, REM. REM kind of had to blow the dust off of a track. Two really good songs. Driver 8. And the train conductor says, "Take a break, driver 8." And this one goes out to the one I love. Really good time capsule songs. They really feel nostalgic in a very cool fucking way, and I can only imagine seeing it when it came out live, or just like being there to experience it when it was new. Because me seeing it late to the game, and I mean, I was still impressed. Like, I'm listening to Driver 8 over and over again. Oh man, there are some offerings from the BBC that the Adult Swim block kind of gave a shot to, and that's why I know about at least one of them. But the Mighty Boosh is really, really, really fucking cool show. And it's about these two guys. They're sort of a band. They lose track of whatever they're doing, but they always have that like camaraderie of being in a band together. they have to make ends meet, so they have to do 2 other whatever jobs. They work at the zoo, they work at a fucking crap shop or whatever. And in between, yeah, they score gigs, they have to perform and think of new shit. One of them's like really, really flashy, and he's a front man. He's like, I'm out here pulling shapes, and yeah, he's real big personality, but he's bright, and he gets along with people. And the other guy is real dour and serious, and he's a jazz maverick, Howard Moon, man about town. Yeah, he's real serious, stiff, like Englishman, but they have a cool dynamic, and it's clearly a character because you see it's Noel Fielding and Julian Barrett, and you see them out there, and they couldn't be more like chill when they perform. They're just like, oh yeah, whatever, and they just but there's shows like the IT Crowd that they brought over to the States, and they tried to do like a Western version. Because The Office, too, was originally like, everyone's, oh, I love The Office. That was Ricky Gervais. That was a British thing. And yeah, now Office heads know that it was a British thing. But it's cool to see stuff from a different part of the world that just so happens to speak English. And like, they have different slang. They have different references to culture. They have different life rituals and things like that. They have, gotta so quick to get a pint and just like, I'm on Roy. And like, you had to kind of sit there and then watch the context. And I guess not everyone wants to play Indiana Jones watching a casual show, but that's why I vote for subs as opposed to dubs. I'm like, oh, whatever. Yeah, a lot of people say it's too fast. I can't read and blah blah blah. But I'm a pretty good reader, and I would kind of be embarrassed to admit that on the real. But can't judge other people like that. That's intellectual elitism, or I don't know, just being an asshole. I'm both. Nice. So there is a show that is coming from this like fountain of Britishness, and it's called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, and it is what Shakespeare would call like a fever dream. It is so fucking cool. It is a combination of if you take it seriously, it is paranormal action hospital. And if you see it for what it is after watching like the Mighty Boosh and stuff, you kind of get the humor. Howard Moon even makes a cameo, not literally as Howard Moon, but yeah, he's one of the characters, like a priest in one of the episodes. But yeah, it's like every cheesy soap opera mixed with like over the top, like Stephen J. Cannell, like action A-team shit. Which on the face of it sounds kind of like odd, but man, like he shoots people. Like, why would a doctor carry a gun? But he has the big like Rick's gun from The Walking Dead. He just puts a shot into someone's shoulder. Man, it's fucking funny. And it's always like. People back him up. He's like, it's Dr. Rick Douglas, MD. And they have to, it's Dr. and MD, like they have to overemphasize how important he is. It's good, yeah, it's good. He's got like a house vibe about being like this surly Mr. Fix-It for the entire hospital. And Richard Ayoade plays his boss, Thornton Reed. He's always like concerned about the budget and how we're gonna, you're a maverick, Douglas. You need to do this by the book. And yeah, the Dr. Lucian Sanchez, his like rival surgeon or whatever, but he's also friends with him. They're like a Naruto Sasuke kind of vibe, and yeah, he's also like this karate machismo doctor. But the guy Todd Barry or Matt Barry, excuse me, that plays him is like much taller and much more like chiseled than the guy that plays Dr. Douglas. So yeah, he's trying to like be tough, and he's like down, he's down real low, and the other guy's like way above him in the conversation. And I mean, it definitely is self-aware, and it's super meta. And it was done before like a lot of that shit was really catching on. Adult Swim had a lot of cool offerings like that too, fucking home movies, 12-ounce mouse, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. There's a lot of C-Lab 2021. There's like really cool shows, and you'll see like a C-Lab, the Fig Nuts T-shirt with Captain Murphy, like. Speaking of T-shirts, now this is going to be a unpopular opinion, but I mean, fuck it, I was already unpopular to begin with. When I started out, right, when I was younger, kind of a dog boy, not a dog man yet. I learned there were just like certain rules of how to do things, unspoken rules, they say, of how one operates as an adult in society, or just even as a person-to-person basis. Not everyone agrees on what these rules are, or when and how they should be followed, because again, they are unspoken. But a big one was like, if you don't know about something, maybe don't wear the T-shirt kind of deal. And now, a lot of people have been buying T-shirts and they wear them, but they don't know what the actual subject matter is. So they're wearing like a big banner that says, "Hey, I like this. It's a flag that shows that I'm into this thing. I think it's cool." Because like, yeah, usually you wear a Metallica shirt, you're fucking into Metallica. You know what I mean? I say I'm into fucking Metallica. I'm into Metallica. Ride the Lightning was the first album I bought for myself. So you know what I mean? Fucking Metallica. So I don't feel like a poser when I'm wearing a Metallica shirt. But people, especially now, like, I've noticed in the last 5-10 years, will just wear whatever. They'll wear T-shirts they don't know anything about. They'll buy shit that's, from other countries. And, I mean, it's cool. Whatever style is one thing. But I personally would be embarrassed to wear some shit that I didn't know. Like, a band that I had never heard or a show that I had never watched. I thought that was called being a poser. But to each his own, or whatever your pronoun is. And because this is the end of season 1, this is going to be a double issue. So we're going to be back in part 2 of the Dogman Show.